analysis. So to her credit, she has published various research papers in Springer Nature, elsewhere journals with high impact factors that are SCI indexed. She is also published papers in IEEE conference and in various Springer proceedings. She is actually worked as a reviewer for some of the top SCI journals in IEEE, like IEEE Transactions in Neural Network and Learning Systems. Being the head of the mathematics department, she had led progressive initiatives in curriculum, teaching learning, setting up laboratories, recognized research center, etc. She has organized various skill development programs, faculty development programs, short-term training programs, guest lectures with respect to mathematical modeling and data analytics, modern mathematical tool for calculus and analytics. So finally, she strongly believes that keeping the dreams in the eyes may fall as tears. So keep them in the heart so that every heartbeat will remind us to convert them into reality. So this is the brief and excellent version of Dr. Maheswari, madam. Can you please share your screen, madam?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this. Yes, sir. You are able to see my.
Yes, you are visible, madam.
Yeah, okay. So thank you so much for that nice introduction, sir. Let me start my session.
Yes, ma'am.
So is it viewable?
Sir, no, madam. Your screen is not visible, actually.
No, madam.
Okay.
Madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm doing that.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Is it visible?
Madam, what is that you have to do is you share the entire screen. That will be better, madam.
Yeah, I did that only.
But the screen was not shared, actually.
Okay. I'm sharing in the browser, sir, but I don't know why I'm not able to open. I did browse my computer.
Kiran, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Else, if possible, you collect the PPT from ma'am and then you can share, sir, if ma'am having any problem.
Okay.
Is it possible, sir?
Yeah, I can do that, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Oh, sir. The message has been sent.
Ma'am,
Yeah, I've sent it to you, sir.
you sent to Dr. Kiran Shri, sir, madam.
There only, sir. I sent it to you only.
Okay. Madam, did you share me WhatsApp or what?
No. I've sent it in mail.
Mail. Okay, madam. I will just download and
I just.
Raja, can you share and I?
Okay, sir.
Raja-
I will share.
Once again, I'll send it, sir.
Okay, please.
Shit. Yes, sir. I've sent it. So now, are you able to see, sir, my slide?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yeah, madam,
it
it's
is
visible. Visible.
Yes,
Oh,
madam,
okay.
it's visible.
Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience caused, sir. Yeah, we'll start, sir.
No
Shall we
problem,
start, sir?
madam.
Yeah.
Yes, madam, you can, madam. You can start,
Okay.
madam. No problem.
Okay. So today I'm here to speak about the different Gen I's AI sections, which has got implications on AI and ML. So how the evolution of intelligence has become, slowly it started with the Gen AI. Earlier, we had this AI and ML. Now we are able to see that Gen AI is taking the full control of it, because whatever we see, we are able to see that ChatGPT plays a very vital role. So let me go into the clarity on the sections. Right, once again, yes. So generative AI refers to a class of artificial intelligent algorithms and models that is being designed to create the new content and data. All of us know that it is being used in images, text, music, and many more patterns and structures that is being learned from the training data. So this plays a very important role, and people give a lot of attention towards it, because of which it is
Madam,
becoming more and
the
more.
slides are not visible.
It's not visible, sir.
Only the first slide is observed. That is the title page, but not the other
Oh.
slides.
Now, sir?
No, madam.
No,
It's in
madam.
first slide.
That's wrong. What do I do, sir? Shall I?
And please scroll down. Move
Now,
to next
sir?
slide. Move to next
Yeah,
slide.
I've gone to the next slide. I've gone to the next slide, sir. Third slide I am in.
It's not visible, madam.
Not
Oh,
moving.
shit.
That's right.
I don't know what's wrong.
Scroll
If that's the case,
Ma'am,
shall I reshare? Oh, yes, sir.
you have opened the Gmail.
Yeah. Oh, it's there, huh? Sir, I've opened that. I've opened that, sir. You're able to view this, sir?
No, madam,
Ma'am.
we can see only the first slide, ma'am. Yes, no,
Next
yes,
one.
ma'am. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
ma'am.
yes.
Now
Ma'am.
it's
this is
moving,
open.
moving, ma'am.
Okay. I'll
You do
show
that
like
one,
this.
madam. It's moving
This
now.
is fine now. Yeah, okay.
You do like
So,
that, ma'am.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, sir. So here in generative AI, we are able to see in images, text, music, and in patterns and structures from the training data. So basically, when we compare the supervised learning to that of the prompt-based AI, what are the differences? First, in supervised learning, we get the labeled data, we train the AI model on the data, and then we deploy the model. And for this, we take nearly 7 months of time. Whereas in prompt-based AI, what we do is we specify the prompt and we deploy the model, which is just taking only few hours. So that way we are able to say that we are able to save a lot of time, and prompt-based AI plays a vital role. So basically, the uses of this generative AI has the content creation. It is very much used in content creation. It is used in design. It is used in fashion. It is used in architecture and also in photography and image editing. The uses which I say are only few, but there are many other uses. But what I have mentioned here are only few. So let us go deep into the subject and learn what it is. This generative AI not only accelerates the content, but also fosters the innovation. So this is one of the greatest innovation that AI is looking at, and we are also progressing towards it. Now, even the question paper patterns, when we talk about the question papers in our college and all, we generate the question papers also in generative AI using certain prompts. And whenever we give those kind of prompts, we are able to get very good question papers with all COs and POs. So we will be using in the nearest future in many other areas. So that way we are able to balance the potential benefits of the generative AI with that of the ethical considerations. So what are the different generative model structures? So there are different types of generative model structures that can be utilized for data augmentation, which also includes the autoencoders, generative adversarial networks, and auto-regressive models. So when we look, these are all high-end ones, which was very difficult earlier, but now during because of this generative AI models, it has become very much simpler. And how do we train the generative models is yet another question. So we model this model, whatever the kind of the model we propose, we learn the underlying distribution of the data. We see how to generate the new samples and we reassemble them. That's what we do here. This includes generating synthetic data, augmenting the data set, and training the machine learning models. First of all, let me talk about the generating synthetic data. Here, the generative model is trained, and what is happening is the sampling is being taken for distribution, and we check the augmenting data with that what is being already assigned in the original data set. And finally, the augmented data set can then be used for the machine learning models. How do we train the machine learning models? These augmented data set, which now contains both the real and the synthetic data points, is used for all the machine learning models. And this actually improves the performance of the system. So some of the benefits of the data augmentation with generative AI models is it improves the model performance as mentioned earlier. We are able to see the machine learning models can become more robust, and generalized patterns can also be extracted from this improvised model performance. And reduced overfitting also takes place, because of which we are able to see that we are reducing the risk of memorizing the training's data noise. Nextly, we are able to see that in addressing the imbalance and in privacy preservations, this plays a vital role. That is, which implies that in addressing imbalance, we are able to see that the synthetic data can help balance the class distribution in data set, ensuring that the model learns and gives the accurate predictions. So most of the time, because for any of the organization or for any of the institutions for that, predictions, if the predictions are made wrong, if the decision making is going wrong, the entire system gets collapsed. So in decision making, in predictions, the addressing of imbalance is being taken into consideration by using this generative AI. We are also able to see that there are certain privacy preservations wherein which the generative models can generate the synthetic data. It preserves the privacy of the sensitive information that's been present in the original data. So many a times, some of the models which we perform, some of the models in that the data set has been hidden, but while using these kind of categories, we are able to see that all those data are maintained and they are preserved. Nextly, let me also say that this particular approach, which is called the anomaly detection, where it takes care of all the hidden ones, is being very much important in place of fraud detection, in cybersecurity, and in quality control. So taking up all these things into consideration, we are able to see, because this fraud detection, security, and quality control are the three major, sources for any of the managerial, institutions or organizations. Anybody, they take care of all these things, and that's being done by this generative AI. Speaking about the anomaly detection, we are able to see that we are able to reconstruct, generate and reconstruct a representation of the data based upon the learned knowledge of the normal examples. So some of the examples is, in thresholding and classification, we are able to see that the data points, it exceeds a certain threshold. So whenever it happens, there comes some kind of deviation from the normal distribution. So in those kind of cases, we are able to see that it is all maintained in a normal position. So that has been taken care. And in fraud detection, we are able to see in financial transactions, this particular Gen AI and the model, it can detect the unusual patterns or behaviors that deviate from the normal one. And we are also able to see that in cyber security cases, we are able to identify the suspicious activities, that indicates the security breaches. Very importantly, we also know that quality control is one of the major, parameter that anybody looks at. So as far as the quality control is concerned, we are able to see that generative models can analyze the sensor data, production logs, and we are able to see that all the error functions or malfunctions can be detected very easily. Then we also see that these are not only applied in these kind of, in organizational, it does not even have the organization, but it was also very much helpful in medical healthcare. So in healthcare monitoring, we are able to see that there are certain techniques wherein which we are able to detect abnormal conditions or disease outbreaks in a person's health. So as far as all these things goes, we are able to avoid the emergency cases. And overall, we are able to see that the entire organization, the medical care, everything is taken care via generative advisory networks. As far as these things are the generative advisory networks, I just wanted to emphasize more. This can enable the generation of high quality, realistic images from scratch, to that of manipulating existing images. So we are able to see that a lot of morphing cases happens. So from that, in these kind of images, we are able to see that this generation of this advisory networks will enable us to find the realistic or high quality images, and people can stop manipulating on these kind of images. And in image generation, these are GANs, what we say is GANs. It consists of neural networks. One has got the generator, the other one is called the discriminator, which has been trained in such a way in order to avoid the random noise. We are able to get and distinguish between the real and the generative images. Nextly, it also emphasizes on the styles transfer. When I say style transfer, we are able to discriminate the styles transfer algorithms. We can create new images, and these new images will combine the style of one image with the content of the other. So this technique is widely used in art in order to design, the very good stylish images with unique styles. And this is not only used in style transfer, it is also used in image editing manipulation, where we are able to see that it allows and manipulates various aspects of an image, such as color, texture, shape, and structures. So from these facilities, we are able to see that the object removal, colorization, manipulation, all those things can be avoided. Nextly, we also have image super resolution. In image super resolution, also we are able to see that there are certain high frequency details that's been which has been based on resolution input images. These things can be effectively increased through some of the spatial resolution. By avoiding these kind of things, we are able to preserve all those kind of images, and that is what is happening in image super resolution. As far as the conditional image generation is concerned, we are able to see that conditional GANs can also be applied in image to image translation, where the images are generated based on the paired input output examples. And we all know what is data augmentation. It can actually generate synthetic images that resembles the real life examples. So here in data augmentation, it improvises the generalization and robustness of image classification, segmentation, and other computer vision tasks. So from these advancements, we are able to see that we are coming across the various domains that includes the art, design, entertainment, healthcare, computer vision, driving innovation, creativity in visual content creation, and also manipulation. As told earlier, it not only takes care of the healthcare in providing the best medicines, but it also helps in drug discovery. So here, actually, what happens is we've got something called molecule generation, where the generative models brings out the novel molecular structures which has good kind of drugs. And from all these things, we are able to see that we are getting a particular biological pathway is being emphasized, and every single person will be able to know, like, where am I going wrong? My health condition is going on where and all. So accordingly, he tunes up his energy. Nextly, we also have compound optimization, where we list upon the potency, the solubility, and bioavailability of the molecular structures. By exploring all these things, we are able to see that AI identifies the modifications in drug-like characteristics. We also have something called the de novo drug design and multi-objective optimization. So in de novo drug design, we learn a large database from the chemical components, its associative properties. So what these generative models can do is it can propose a novel drug candidate with the optimized profiles. So in order to check out or to purchase the right kind of the chemical component, we are able to see that this generative AI plays a vital role. Similarly, in multi-objective optimization, we are able to train and optimize the multiple properties. That includes the toxicity, the efficacy. Every single factor is being measured. So that way we are able to balance our profiles. And in material synthesis prediction also, we are able to see this generative models can predict the system. And while predicting the systems, we are able to analyze the relationship between the material compositions, synthesis parameters. And so we are able to know which is the right material. So whatever I've been telling you, it is all with regard to the material component analysis, because most of the researchers, they use the material concept into consideration. When you look into the mechanical or automobile or the chemical kind of field or the physics people, everybody, they're looking for medical in material, and in material these are the things in which a Gen AI plays a vital role. Nextly, we also have property prediction, where we are able to predict the physical, chemical, and mechanical properties of the materials. And here we are also enabling the researchers to prioritize the materials based upon the performance and its characteristics. So in material discovery, it accelerates the chemical compositions and structural configurations. And in high throughput screening, we are able to see that it reduces the cost and the time-consuming experimental synthesis and characterization, thus enabling it to, make it fast. The performance should increase. So that kind of a high throughput screening is also being maintained by using this generative AI. So all those things were material related. As far as the environmental generation is concerned, we are able to say that this generative AI plays a transformative role. As mentioned earlier, not only in drug discovery and material design, but also it is used in many other things which is society related, like sustainability and in technological advancements. So let us see what are the different environmental generations. One is the terrain generation, procedural generation, and the other one is the texture synthesis. So in terrain generation, the generative models can create realistic landscapes and in gaming worlds. And these models can simulate the natural features. Nowadays, we are able to see that there's so much of good performance on rains. When when a place doesn't get rain, what happens is we give artificial rains. So all these things has been taken care, not only rains, but also mountains, rivers, forests, valleys, everything is being taken care, and that is done through Gen AI. In procedural generation, we are able to see that the content generation algorithms often, diverse with the gaming world, and it has got minimum human intervention. So in procedural generation, when we start applying this Gen AI, we are able to see that many of the human faults or human errors can be rectified. And as far as the texture synthesis environmental generation goes, we are able to see that we are able to get the realistic details, variations, and patterns that increases the immersion in the virtual world. So likewise, this Gen AI is not only used in GANs, variational autoencoders, and procedural content generation algorithms. It has got many other applications in virtual reality also. Next important characteristics in Gen AI is character creation. So in character creation, we have character design and animation synthesis. In character design, what happens is we are able to generate diverse and lifelike characters, developers, and we populate the gaming worlds with the non-player characters. And in animation synthesis, the generator models, these animations can be tailored to interact in order to behave with that of the virtual entities. That's what happens in the character creation. And finally, we also have the facial expression generation, where these GANs and the generator models synthesis the facial expressions, emotions, gestures. All those things have been completely taken care of without any kind of, defaults. So how do we train these generative AI models? So training is important character. So how do we train the model? It represents the underlying distribution of the normal data points. And in normal data points, actually, we generate the normal data. We train the model. We generate the synthetic data. And from the synthetic data points, we get the learned distribution of the normal data. So content creation, as mentioned earlier, let me throw up some light on the content creation. These days, even if a person wants to write a proper formal letter, he gets into Gemini and he starts writing the letter. It's not only for the writing letter, but also for writing various proposals and things. And even for, publishing any kind of articles, we are able to see this content plays a vital role. So this Gen AI is not only used in, preparation of syllabus or any other thing, but is also used in literature, art, music, and design. So this has implications for creative industries. So this can also, because it can automatically generate the content, we are able to see that it is increasingly used in many other areas as far as the industry is concerned. In data augmentation, we are able to see that all these synthesis, the data augmentation, anomaly detection, image editing, synthesis, drug discovery. So these are the major things which I have mentioned already: drug discovery and material design and virtual, and this one. Nextly, we also have the personalization and recommendation system. So in personalization and in recommendation system, we also have, what happens is we improve the effectiveness of recommendation systems. So here we also have the ethical and the societal implications. So the more we use this generative AI, we are able to see that there are certain ethical concerns, which includes the potential or the misuse of fake content or misinformation. All those things can be addressed in a proper way. So, for example, if you wanted to write some research article, and if that research article is being taken from somebody, we can very well, detect, and that can be very much very well detected from this Gen AI. So overall, we just wanted to tell that this has become this is a new revolutionized AI that has been included in various industries in enabling the creation of realistic and novel content. Not only novel content, but also augmenting data sets. This also enhances the creativity and it improves the efficiency. So earlier I had mentioned that it is being used in art, literature, and music. In generative models, this can also create the digital networks, paintings, sculptures, and this can also be used in digital and in advertising media. In literature, we are able to see that it is used in complexity and depth of the human authored works. It also takes care of the content generation, summarization, and translation. In music, we are able to see that it takes care of all the composite music that includes classical, jazz, pop, or electronic, or films or video games. Everything is being streamlined through this Gen AI. In world building and storytelling also, this Gen AI plays a vital role. What does that mean? In narrative generation, generative AI can contribute on storytelling by generating dynamic narratives. So here, earlier in those olden days, a person sits with a book and they think and think and think and they write, taking so many days. But in no time, we are able to see that we are able to get emergent storytelling experiences. So that can be easily narrated through this Gen AI. And in dialogue generation also, as far as the natural language processing is concerned, we are able to see that many of the characters in virtual environments can be easily be enhanced through immersion and engagement. In realistic and immersion, we are able to see that we are able to leverage this generative AI to create realistic environments, characters, and interactions. And in personalization and adaptation, also we see that it is used in characters, in narratives. It is also used in behaviors and skill levels. So in this, we are able to see that this Gen AI play a very vital role in all these things. So as mentioned earlier, not only in game developer, it is also used in shaping the future of gaming. There's so many VR models coming up in interactive entertainment, in so many new levels of realism, in creativity, in immersion of virtual experience, in all these characteristics, we are able to see that this Gen AI is playing a very, very, very important role. So because when we look into that, it gives us a sequential way in which we are supposed to proceed. There will not be any kind of ambiguity. And in user modeling, this can analyze the behavior, the preference. It also gives us the historical interactions, where and all, how and all it is being done. It captures the nuances of the preferences, the interests, the consumption patterns, enabling more accurate recommendations. So by generating the content, we also saw that it is used in the recommendation systems, which will also enhance in user engagement and satisfaction. So suppose if you are putting one content, for example, any of the things, and we are not happy with it, what we can do is, again, we can resurrender and we can get a better version of it. That is what it means. And we are able to see that the diverse recommendation or the recommendation generation, as far as they are concerned, instead of recommending only popular or mainstream items, recommendation systems can use generative AI to suggest novel or the best contents, and it gives us a unique flavor. And in contextual recommendations and in cold start problems. So these are some of the different things where it has been encountered. Here we consider the recommendations coming and delivering the timely recommendations, which will meet the user needs. And in cold start problem, it has been addressed in cold start problem, where the limited or the sparse data is very much challenging. And we are able to see this AI techniques enables us to generate the personalized recommendations for further deductions. So in interactive recommendations, we are able to see that the generative models enable the interactive recommendations that engage users in recommendation process. It is also used in providing more interactive and personalized user experience. In cross-domain recommendations, this enables recommendation systems to recommend relevant items across the diverse domains, such as movies, music, books, and products. We also have something called the fake content and the misinformation, the deep fakes. As I've told, there are many fake things that can be avoided. Misinformation and many other privacy violations can also be avoided. Nextly, we also have the intellectual property rights. All nowadays we know that there's intellectual property rights is one such thing which our government is also encouraging all of us to know and to get more and more patents. So we are able to see that AI blurs between the original and the synthetic content. So in that case, we are this full intellectual property rights takes the full ownership, and AI generated work challenges these traditional frameworks. Of copywriting, licensing, and fair kind of in use. So resolving all these kind of disputes on the ownership and authorship of AI generated content, we are able to get very clear guidelines about the standards, the mechanisms that's been used for attribution and recognition. Nextly, we also have regulatory and governance challenges. Here, the rapid advancements of AI, it regulates the face challenges in defining the clear guidelines and deployment. So when it comes to the international collaboration and coordination, we are able to see that everything is being taken into consideration and multi-stakeholder engagement is being involved in many governments and in industry, in academia, in civil society. It is also enabling us to develop ethical guidelines, best practices by using these kind of Gen AIs. And as far as the bias and the discrimination is concerned, generative models can train on the biased and unrepresentative data sets. So AI generated text may exhibit gender, racial, or cultural biases present in the training data. It leads to the discriminatory outcomes. So the deployment takes place in such a way that very good decision-making process is being looked upon, where, for example, we have the hiring, lending, or law enforcement, everything is being taken into consideration. So by this, we are able to see that this Gen AI is playing a vital role. And being a mathematician, I just wanted to reveal one more thing. This unwilling Gen AI is also bridging the gap between the statistical analysis to that of the artificial intelligence. So how we can fuse the statistical analysis to that of the artificial intelligence? We can fuse them. We can also find out the anatomy of AI in everyday applications. The nexus of probability analysis and content generation. We can also navigate the risk in the era of generative AI. So basically, what happens in statistical analysis and AI is we know that there are so many models that is being witnessed in AI and ML. This rides upon the statistical analysis that uncovers the patterns. It makes the predictive insights. That's culminating the advent of Gen AI. And this has also been featured in LLMs, like large language models. There also, we are able to see that we are able to observe its integration into various technologies in mobile devices, boasting AI, and so many other characteristics. These things can, blur the lines between the human-like interaction and machine-generated content. So likewise, we are able to see that this statistical analysis plays a vital role that bridges between AI and Gen AI. And this Gen AI, and thirdly, we also have the nexus of probability analysis and content generation. So when we speak about the probability analysis and purpose-driven training, we are able to see that we are able to generate responses, and we are able to also see that Gen AI excels in mimicking the natural language. It also lacks the genuine insight, and therefore it gives us the best information without any kind of ambiguity. And in navigating the risks, as far as the navigation takes place in the era of generative AI, we're able to see that there are many challenges that can arise. For example, discrimination without any kind of a proper channel or any kind of hallucination. All those things can take place, but we are able to see this. This statistical analysis will enable us to make the solution even more productive, even more purposeful, even more accurate, thus taking away all the other errors that has been observed, if at all, the errors that has been observed in Gen AI. So with this, I just wanted to tell you that Gen AI is playing a vital role. So let us all start using in a productive manner. As mentioned earlier also, in our college, we have started to implement this Gen AI not only in content creation, but also in setting of question papers. Because from various colleges, we are getting still, question paper setting that is still there. But in our own college, for CAT examinations, for even end semester examination, we're taking up the same Gen AI content. So this, I just wanted to close. If you have any questions, you're free to ask me. Thank you.
Participants, any queries? Participants, any queries? You can interact with the madam. Any queries? No? Okay, madam. Thanks for your excellent speech of what exactly how generative AI works and which will be helpful to researchers and faculty members also, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
On behalf of, I'm very much pleased, madam, to be standing on behalf of Shri Vishnu Engineering College and Women to convey my gratitude, our chief guest, Maheswari, madam, which deserves a special recognition.
Hello. Hello.
రమేష్ గారు వాయిస్ రావట్లేదండి.
Hello.
రమేష్ గారు వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది.
Okay, sir. Okay. Madam?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
sir.
okay. Now it's okay.
Okay, madam. Actually, I'm very much pleased, madam, to be standing here on behalf of Shri Vishnu Engineering College and Women to convey my gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. Maheswari K, which deserves a special recognition for accepting our invitation and being here with us today to share valuable words, how generative AI usefully works in our life, madam. Thank you for your valuable thoughts, madam. Here.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me
Thank you,
this
ma'am.
opportunity. Thank you so much, sir. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Madam, Dr. Aditi Sharma, madam, are you there, madam? Dr. Aditi Sharma, madam. Okay. Participants, please be in line. We can start within when madam joins within 10 minutes.